Hello, my name is Kevin Camps, and I serve as radioactive waste specialist at Beyond Nuclear in Tacoma Park, Maryland. I'd like to thank Nuclear Energy Information Service for hosting me here in Chicago, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about the risks of high-level radioactive waste transportation, because it's really rearing its head right now. There are several risks of high-level radioactive waste being transported in unprecedented numbers in the United States. There's a bill called H.R. 3053, sponsored by John Shimkus, a Republican congressman from Illinois, that would expedite the opening of the Yucca Mountain, Nevada high-level radioactive waste dump, and it would also increase the amount of waste significantly that could be dumped there. There's also proposals for centralized interim storage facilities for high-level radioactive waste in New Mexico and Texas. And if any of these dumps open in the years to come, that would be the launch of these high-risk, high-level radioactive waste shipments by truck, by train, by barge. The risks include severe accidents, so high-speed crashes into immovable objects like a bridge abutment, or a high-temperature, long-duration fire, or a long-duration deep underwater submersion. And the risk is that these containers would break open, would be breached, and would release even a fraction of their contents, and it would be disastrous for an entire area or region. Another category of risk would be intentional attacks by terrorist organizations using anti-tank weaponry or sophisticated explosives like shaped charges that would intentionally release the contents of just one of these shipments. And these risks are why we call such shipments potential mobile Chernobyls or floating Fukushimas, Fukushima freeways, dirty bombs on wheels. And here in Chicago, one of the big risks is that every nuclear power plant on Lake Michigan has potential barge shipments into ports like the Port of Milwaukee or Muskegon, Michigan. So if a single shipment were to sink, there's the potential for a disastrous release of radioactivity into Lake Michigan, which is the drinking water supply for many millions of people. There's even the risk of a chain reaction on the bottom of Lake Michigan if a critical mass were to form in the presence of a neutron moderator like water. But besides the catastrophic risks of accidents, there's also the risk of routine shipments, incident-free shipments, which are like mobile X-ray machines that can't be turned off. So the Nuclear Regulatory Commission allows a dose rate at 6 feet away from these shipments of 10 millirem per hour, which is 1 to 2 chest X-rays per hour. And right at the cask surface, it's allowed to emit 200 millirem per hour, a 20-fold increase, so 20 to 40 chest X-rays per hour. And there are certain people, like pregnant women, who should not be exposed to any ionizing radioactivity because of the harm that could be done to the fetus. So what can be done about these risks? Well, Congress is really where the action is right now, and so folks should call both of their U.S. senators as well as their U.S. representative. And one way of doing that is the Capitol Switchboard, area code 202-224-3121. You can also look up your members of Congress online and get their direct contact information, both in DC and here in Illinois. And just let them know how concerned you are about the risks of these shipments, that it's not appropriate to be shipping this material in large numbers over the course of decades at this point to these unsuitable and environmentally unjust Western dump sites that are proposed. Another idea is to contact your governor, your state legislature, even your local municipal leaders, and encourage them to pass resolutions at the local level against these shipments. And you'll be joining with folks all across the country who are doing the same, trying to put a stop to the mobile Chernobyl. Thank you so much.